Good afternoon. It is August 3rd, 2023, and today we had a range day. Here's how it looks on the daily chart. So just a doji, probably finding support from that midline. Yeah, so let's take a look. So this is the channel I see in the overnight. You get an overshoot, uh, and then it comes and makes a new low. We don't get a break, but maybe you look at this as a break. But the way I think of it is we don't get a break. We just get the overshoot, makes a new low, and then it tries again to make a new low and it reverses. But that's all in the middle of the night. So you get a break of this channel, couple legs up to a new high, and 5 o'clock comes in here. So let's take a look at this because yeah, the problem here is you can't take this because it's a third entry. I don't see any way around that. And I mean, maybe you look at this as a second entry, but it's pretty congested at that point. But yeah, it breaks lower. You get a break of the channel, move to a new low, and a couple legs of correction, and then it forms another channel down and move to a new low. We get a break, move to a new low. This one, I was looking at this one. So that's a failure, and it looks all right. You know, you can't really tell that that's a channel at first. You'd probably have it probably more like steeper. But I mean, that is the first swing. That's what I was looking at. So, you know, I think this is valid. And there's reasons to like that. But it's not great by any means. Break, two legs down to a new low. Then we reverse. And I really like this because we have a break of the main channel down here and we're just kind of chopping sideways. So unfortunately, you only get a scalp out of this one, and you probably could go on the engulfing bar too, which would have gotten you more than a scalp. But we get that scalp, and then it just comes back down, tests the lows, and then you get another reversal setup right here. This one's a little way away from the EMA, more so than this one. So I marked it green. This one looks pretty good. I like these with some more intense corrections than something like this with smaller corrections. Then we come up here and you get a first entry, second entry, and it's a double test as well. So I like this one. You just got to make sure you have room to that high. So we make two legs up, and then we start to go lower. We form this channel, and I'm just chopping lower, and then you get the second entry off the trend line. Good signal bar, good entry. Come down here, then you get this hidden second entry. That's pretty good. 5-tick risk. First break of the channel. Looks pretty good to me. And I would think you'd probably run into some resistance there, so that'd probably be my main concern. 1675. And you got plenty of room to scalp out before these lows, so wouldn't have mattered anyway. Come down here. We've made a new low. We overshot the channel, and then we just reverse. And this one looks pretty good. It's just a higher low back into the overnight range, but I'm not going to mark it. You're going straight into that trend line. Find some, get a range right here. Breaks out to the low side, fails, comes higher. You actually get a reversal right here, and that's tests the. It's a lot of dojis, but it tests this price level twice, so that's worth considering, in my opinion. And that forms a channel up. And I don't think you can take that one. I think that's aggressive, even though it's a second entry, because all these dojis too aggressive. Big bullish bar right here, and they just trap people probably, and just go sideways for a long time. So form this channel up. We get a break, and we get this double test up here. We form this double top. So we didn't make a new high, but then you get this lower high, and in real time I like that. However, right after I took it on the simulator, I was realizing that this was probably a midline, and you draw this range, and that's exactly what it was, is a midline. Eventually you do get your scalp out of that, but you got to be aware of that. And then you get this second entry that's off this same price level. So I think this is worth considering, but the problem is you don't have a lot of space down here. So it bounces. You can see this small breakout leads to a breakout in the opposite direction, and then that fails, and then we just go a little sideways. And this one here, to me, this just looks like, I mean, I didn't draw it like this. I was looking at it, and if you draw it like that, then you can't take this. But the way I was looking at it was like this was a channel down, and we have a break and a move to a new low, and you get that test off that support. So, you know, it's aggressive, but I think, you know, it's multiple tests at that price level, and it works out, and we go higher. You get a second entry long right here. It's actually kind of a repeat pattern of this. So maybe you consider that if you view it that way. But you really gotta, that's not a good signal bar, so it's not a great entry. You can see a lot of people liked it though. We come up here, and this is like a repeat pattern too. Double test, lower high. It's also a second entry short, but not a lot of room back to the EMA. So come back up, find resistance there again. Come down here, you get this lower high. It's kind of like a breakout pullback too, but just the first entry. Come down lower, we form this range. Here I'll draw this trend line. This is probably a channel here. So you get a break and move to a new low. Then we're just going sideways here. We form this leg up. Probably trapped a bunch of longs here. Lower high, take it down. That's a double test. That's pretty, actually I like that one, because it's a second entry long and a double test, and you have room back to the EMA. Yeah, I like that one. Second entry up here, and that's a double test, so maybe you consider that one too. Then we bounce off the midline, come up here, and you get a first entry. Actually, the second entry I'm seeing triggers right here. So when you get this lower high and a super bearish bar, I think that's worth considering. I really like that one, but doesn't look so good here. So when you get this lower high, maybe you take that, but I think that's too sideways at that point. But you can see a lot of people like that. Get a break and failed breakout right here, but you're getting into the end of the day there. So that's how I saw it today. I hope everyone had a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow.